Love you guys so much for showing love. This is Sarah Love.
We're live.
Up in this mother love.
You
Live and direct, mother lovers. That's right. It's another Wednesday night. You know what I mean? It's one of them Wednesday nights, brother. Yeah, well, we're back with some shit you might not never know nothing about. That's right. I said it. Something you might not never know nothing about. I am your host, MysDiggi. I'm here with my co-host, DanDNA. What's going on, bruv? Good?
good?
It's one of them Wednesdays, boy. Where it's just
Quiet
like,
Wednesday.
Yeah, Quiet Wednesday where we get into it. You know what I mean? Shout out to the people locked in, whether you are tuned in after the fact and you're listening to us via the podcast. Welcome. And also, welcome to our live listeners, man. Of course, we love each and every one of you mother lovers. You know what I mean? Coming through to our little get-together, our little online digital get-together where we get to chat the shit. You know what I mean? In case there's kids listening, I meant chat the shit. Yeah, man. It's good to link up, you know what I mean? Every week we try and do this. We talk about some stuff you might not never know nothing about. For the fact that, you know, it felt like we were being told what we shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? That we're not allowed to talk about whatever the hell we want. So, you know, I think it's in my chart. I got to shout out DVG, but it's in my chart that I kind of go against the grain. You know what I mean? I have Saturn in Leo. My Saturn is in Leo. And so those are two sort of opposing forces in a way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I'm like, I want to do stuff, but I'm not bothered about all that, the limelight of it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really bothered about, you know, trying to get into the penthouse, as it were. You know what I mean? I keep my eyes wide open. I try to keep my eyes wide shut, bitches and bitches. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I'm quite glad for that anyway, man, because obviously it gives me the freedom to do what I want. Obviously, the rapping side, I always say, like, I feel free. Like, I can rap about whatever I want. Yeah. And it doesn't seem weird to people. And that's the same way I want my life to be like. Do you know what I mean? I remember years ago, man, watching a documentary, or it was probably some Channel 4 BBC documentary, some kind of propaganda. And but they were talking about Michael Jackson, how he had to, like, because he couldn't go out, you know, he's that famous, that they had to, like, they kind of rented some, you know, supermarket, some big mega store or whatever, and then got people, I guess, to play. They were acting like they were just normal punters. Yeah. People at the tills, you know, people, staff and all that, they all had to act like they were just normally doing what they do, but then so he could walk around and feel free and not. I was like,
Did he know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he knew. I'm sure he had to know. He can't be like, oh, what? No one knows me here. Or sorry, no one knows me here. You know what I mean? There's no way. I just feel like you can't do a Michael Jackson voice sounding like me. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? To me, it was like, wow, is that what it's like? Like, when you get famous, you can't go nowhere. Like, people, man, who wants that, man? You know what I mean? What kind of life is that? It's all good, the glitz and glamour and whatnot, but when it comes down to, like, just being able to do regular stuff, like even if he just wanted to go, he'd have to fly somewhere in the middle of nowhere for him to feel free, and then you're on your jacks, you're on your own, you just got your security bodyguards and
the thing is, as
bubbles.
well, knowing what we know now about how these entertainment industries are run, it's probably a good thing that you don't, you know, that you sort of keep that sort of you know, your own position in it, sort of thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Each time you compromise or, you know, move up the ladder, we can see what they do to people as they get further up.
Yeah, it seems like you just end up in that grip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
It's
end up-
sacrifices. You end up making, even if it's not a literal sacrifice, you end up making sacrifices, and you lose a part of yourself each time till in the end you're going in a supermarket and every single person in there's an actor.
Yeah.
And you know.
They're pretending that they don't know who you are.
And you know about it.
Yeah. Like, imagine that.
It'd be better if he didn't know. That's why I was surprised. If he was just like, look, I want to go to this place and I'm a bit worried about my security. And then his security was like, right, clear everyone out, put actors in there. Nothing to worry about then. And then he's just in there blind, blissfully ignorant to the whole thing.
This is like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is like, I think it
knows.
was around 90s, mid-90s, Michael Jackson. So he's
so it's not the real Michael Jackson anyway. It's the replacement Michael Jackson.
Yeah, true. where would you say, where,
He got burnt in a fire.
After that?
Yeah, well, that was the real
Yeah.
Michael Jackson got burnt.
And then they just brought
another Michael Jackson out.
who they taught to dance and
He was just
sing.
a dancer after that. We talked about this with Colin, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, he was just a
He sort of
dancer
just
after that.
don't focus on the singing anymore, and I don't even think he writes his own stuff after. Not all the
As
time,
much.
is he? I think.
So
he's got
what you're saying that after that's not Michael Jackson
Nah.
anymore?
Dave's Michael Jackson.
Wow. Imagine they could
Have you
do
seen
that.
Dave? Who used to hang around with Michael Jackson?
Nah, but
completely
I've heard
burnt,
about this
totally
Dave.
burnt face. Completely.
Yeah,
face burnt
with the
off.
big eyes. He was at the funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the dude that they say
burnt
no.
face
That's
and all that.
oh, burnt face. Wow, some shit
And
you might not never know nothing about.
Dave said he dropped his last name, so his name was Dave Rosenberg originally,
Is it?
something like
Oh,
that.
he said his name was Dave
and
Rosenberg.
he said his dad was so horrible to him that he wanted to disown his own family name, so he called himself Dave because there's nothing, it's my name. I might as well just call myself my own name twice.
What? Yeah, that's kind of weird, man. Do you reckon he made a mistake, and said someone was like, "What's your name, Dave?" And then he was like, "Oh, and what's your? Is that a family name?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Dave.
And he goes, "Oh, so what's your first name then?" Dave. And he fucked up, but he just had to run with it. You just got to run with the shit. You're like, all right, I got to remember my name's Dave. It's Dave.
And it
My
was
name's
Michael
Dave.
who asked him. So then from then on, he was like, "It's my friend Dave." And he was just like, "Fuck, I don't know when I'm going to tell him."
But he knew. But
No, he was I reckon he was Michael Jackson.
And then the fake Michael Jackson. Do you think he knew that was the real Michael Jackson?
Yeah. The real Michael Jackson, Dave, probably got this other one in to replace him. It's probably, again, he knew there was actors in the supermarket. He knew that the Michael Jackson dancer was also an actor.
No, but what about the skin color? Don't worry about that. We'll just put out some thing about you bleaching and you got vitiligo. And they'll just think about that. They won't think about us too. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, make your voice a little bit deeper than it is now, though.
It also sort of gets him off the hook for a lot of other stuff, doesn't it?
Oh,
It's not Dave doing it. It's the actor Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
But again, I don't even know about all that stuff. I'm still skeptical about whether Michael was just set up. He's part of the industry at the end of the day, so
Kenny Rebels asking, do you think Bubbles knew? Bubbles knew, man. If anyone would have known what's going on there, like for everything, from all the
Bubbles
what I mean?
would have been like that.
Straight up.
They put the chimp put her lips out, like taste.
Yeah. Bubbles would have been on the
like
case. They were definitely they must have been like cross-referencing with Bubbles, like, come and give us a sign.
Yeah.
Something. Tell us something, man. We got to shout out the Common Senses in the building. You lot came in and showed a lot of love already, man. So big up Regantology, Lawrence Limburger, all the people. Yes, Black the Ripper, of course. R.I.P. Black the Ripper. R.I.P. Skibbity. Oh, man. That's a mad one. I missed that one last week, man. Skibbity MC passed away. Yeah, that's a big loss, man, to the drum and bass community, boy. MC's like worldwide as well, man. This guy did a lot of work, man.
Yeah, absolute legend, yeah.
Yeah, for real, man. I knew him, I've known him from a long time before, back in the jungle sort of days. And boy, he put in the work. That's one thing I know, he put in the work. Because I've seen him from early, from being like an up and coming, trying to get his foot in the door type thing, to where
Yeah.
to the point where it's like he's a household name. You know what I mean? So that's a big loss, man. I'm not sure what happened, but
I saw a lot of people reminiscing about their time with Skibbity. It's quite moving to see.
Yeah, man.
Someone saying, "Oh, I've just driven past a poster with Skibbity's name."
Wow.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing everywhere around London.
everywhere.
There's that name that's been on the posters for the last
It's crazy, man.
20 odd years or something.
It's a loss, man. It's like Stevie Hyper D. That was a loss at that time. People were just like, yo, what the fuck? And this is definitely going to hit hard as well, man. For a long time, man. So yeah, rest in peace to Skibbity. Love and condolences to his family and loved ones, man. Close ones. Yeah, man. Shout to Kenny Rebel. Big up, bruv. He's in the building. Shout to DJ Harry Love. What's going on, man? He says belated Merry birthday. Yo, we got to get Harry on for some old stories as well, definitely. Man. I know that'll be a lot of jokes, man. Shout out to Weird Tone. He says, glad you didn't sell out, Mice. Big up that DNA. Selling out, man. I want to sell out all my CDs and vinyl. Unless, I don't think you're talking about that, but yeah. Sell the soul? Hell no, bruv. I can't do it, man. I cannot do it. Like the things I've been through, man. You know what I mean? This wasn't about trying to be the next LL Cool J or nothing, man. This was just about doing something that I enjoy doing. And then it just so happened that what I enjoyed doing was good enough that people would, support my life doing it. So I just keep it going like that, man, and keep it all organic and natural. Go with the energy, go with the flow, rather than trying to build. Obviously, if there are people that say that they're like, "Oh, bro, you should be doing it," and it's like, yeah, there's stuff that I think if I wanted to become that I should be doing, but like we're talking about, man, becoming famous. What is it really? What is that? If you can still do the music, you can still perform here and there. Like really, all the rest of it is just a load of aggro that it can have, what I mean? There's two ways it can go, and with majority of what we're seeing, it's going the wrong way. I don't need to be part of that, man. You know what I mean? Like independent music, you can do really well with it if you put your head down and make sure, the craft is right as well as the business side of it. And that's what people need to focus on.
Yeah, when you're doing it on your own, you're doing it. You're the only one doing it, so it's you're the only one who's anyone's got to answer to. You've got to answer to yourself.
Yeah, basically. You're the only one to blame.
Yeah, and when you're with a label, you've got like about 20 people's wages you're paying. So they're doing that job for you, and you could be doing that job. Yeah. It makes it a little bit harder, but you're paying their wages, and then you're also paying for their contacts, and you're paying for their networks and all the rest of it. Yeah. So obviously it's going to help in that way, but the more independent you can keep it.
It's better. And it's the amount of, like you said, you're paying their wages in a sense, but then also you're getting charged with, their energy, their negative energy, like, the side of it that you didn't really get in for. You got in to create music. You didn't get into like exploit it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, in a sense. It's like you put it out, if I put it out at this price, is this reasonable? Would you buy it? Yeah, I would buy it. Okay, bam. That's the exchange. Whereas this, once you get into that realm, it turns into this sinister sort of plot to exploit and get the most out of it and squeeze every last penny you can. In any which way, you know what I mean? And that's not really what you get into it for. Yeah. Unless your aim is just, I just want to go pop. I just want to, And you might not realize that's what it entails, but yeah, in the end, you're going to realize. And then that's what my man's talking about selling out, is that you're selling your soul. It's bit by bit. Your soul's just being chipped away. Definitely. Every last bit of auto-tune, every ghostwritten track, every corny dance move with shiny suit on. Your soul.
Every woman's dress you put on. After that, every time you put a towel on and take a bath in public.
Every remix with Chris Brown. Yo, that's it, man. You're all out, boy. So yeah, man, I hope that's a little something all the up and comers can take away, man. Like, you can still do this, but on an independent level, but like Dan said, you got to put the work in. It takes a bit more time. On that note, shout out to Gleam. What's going on, bruv? Who else is there? Yeah, man. It's interesting, man. Like, the last shout out to DJ Lock. Yes, man, for real. Skibber, you're not lying, bruv. Yeah, man. It's interesting, man. The last couple weeks, it's been pretty hectic since our run-in with David Weiss. And so I think we were talking about, like, obviously it's a touchy subject for some people. Do you know what I mean? What we walk on, what we travel on. So we thought it would be a good idea, and shout out to Gleam. I'm going to hit you up to get Gleam on, because we understand he's got some sympathy for flat earthers. And I know that I think he used to subscribe to it back in the day, but yeah, things might have changed now. The reason I say that is because I remember, bruv, that Gleam, don't even try it now. I remember it must have gone on for 9 days, bruv. They was like, put out something to do with maybe flat earth or conspiracies or something like that. And then bam, these on Facebook, and these lot were going off. It was like days, like a week had gone by, and still bam, back and forth about something. So yeah, I'm gonna hit him up. All right, he said he's gonna give us the full package right there. That's all right. That sounds good, man. The presentation, and I think what it will do will help out with some of our regular lot that they might have been like, these lot, Dan and Mice are flat earthers, right? They might have, what I mean? They've gone a bit crazy with all of this now. I think it will help for them to understand, you know what I mean, what we're dealing with. Like, none of us know. We don't know. No. You know what I mean? We're not built to know, so it's all right. Don't feel like you're
not inadequate.
Yeah, you're not inadequate. No. You're regular folk, man. Like, we walk, we run, you know what I mean? And then we build shit to go a bit faster. That's it. It's the same thing. We can't fly. So the only thing we could do is build shit to try and get up there and see. Yeah. But some of us ain't telling the truth. That's all I know. Shout out to Blue Fliggy. What's going on? Get the message out all across the disc. Yo, we got to say, Blue, we watched your footage of the lamb chop. In it, D, as my witness. Yeah. We might even fling it up so you lot can see. But we watched the footage with the lamb chop, and like the corners were bending up and down. Do you know what I mean? It was round, like it looked like it was a round earth, and then it went up like it was like a what'd you call it?
Concave.
Caves, yeah, concave earth. You got to look at the corners, bruv. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you try to work this shit out like us, look at the corners of the shot, man, and you'll see.
It's the lens is causing to look like a globe. Yeah, exactly.
It's tricky.
Then, like you say, it looks like a skateboard ramp at some points as well.
Yeah, next minute it's like that. Yeah. It is. Yeah, it's a fisheye thing. Look, see, straight away. We saw the curve. We saw it both ways, man. That was the thing about it. Go and look at the footage. Even put it on now and watch it, and you can see, like, right at the corners it curves up as well. You might have to put it on slow. Inconclusive. Inconclusive. I like that one, man. Yeah, man. So, because it really did, it stunned me. I got to say, it stunned me how emotional some people got about it, the situation. Cause I don't know. Like I said, I've had an argument. It was with Luke Hardy. You know what I mean? Like one of our early guests. And that's how we kind of bonded, was the fact that we spent probably like 4 or 5 hours. It was on a set. So it was like whenever we had time off on that, we were chatting about it, blah, blah, blah. But it got heated. But then we got to the point where we were both like, none of us could, it was like, you can't prove that it's flat. And he's like, you can't prove that it's round. And I was like, I can't. And then, I was like, shit, man. I got really emotional about some shit that I can't even prove myself. Like, what the fuck? And then you start realizing it's like, they drill certain things into us so harsh that we end up feeling like we'll defend it with all our might and all that. You know what I mean? We'll get angry with someone if they try and tell us it's anything other than that. Even though when deep down, when we really think about it, as opposed to just thinking of the subject, when we think about what we're, the process of us thinking about it, we're like, shit, but we don't know.
Nah.
This is all still a theory. This is all still like speculation. Do you know what I mean? Even measurements that they're making is still speculation. They're like, fucking hell, that's how they can do us. You know, but what the beautiful thing about it, like I say to people, is the fact that we know, you know what I mean, we're aware that these mistakes can happen.
Yeah. And they've happened in the past. It's not like this is the first. It's not like this is the first big thing that like science may not have got a grasp on, or physicians might not have got a grasp. You know, they used to just have like 4 humours in the body, or you know, like 4 elements or whatever. And they still done all right. It's not like the Greeks didn't like manage to do all the rest of the things that everyone else can do just because they believed there was only 4 elements. It didn't really hold them back. And that's the same with the flat Earth and the globe Earth thing. It's like, if it's holding you back that the Earth is a globe and that you are now completely free to do something else because the Earth's flat, then I can understand why you believe in flat Earth, but it literally changes nothing in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it doesn't change the way you your what's it called, Battlefield computer game works. You know, you're still just gaming.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed anything, has it?
That's the thing, and that's what really
some people might say
like,
it's but it makes me aware that there's, you know, a creator. Say, okay, well, I thought that anyway. Even globe or flat.
Yeah, they did say that. Yeah, someone said that.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, same thing. I did think
either
that as
one
well.
of them is amazing. If everything's globes and there's space and planets and all the rest of it, I'm still like, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah. That's the thing,
and
man.
if there's a flat Earth, then that's amazing as well.
Good. Still like, oh wow, so everything. Oh, okay. But yeah, to be like, I don't know, man. I just think, I don't know. I guess maybe we've kind of been there and done that, and then you realize like, okay, it doesn't matter as much as. I think like, as with any of these sorts of, you know, they're like cult type things, is that if you're really bothered by the other person's argument, or you know, you're really bothered about your argument, there's probably something else that you're using it for. You know, it's probably something that like you're trying to not face up to in yourself, and this thing has become like a sort of your focus
surrogate for it, for what you're actually like. So if you're bothered about dying, you've got a fear of death or whatever it is, then you're looking for some kind of answer, you know, some sort of God to let you know that there is more to life than you just being here. And so if you become, you know, because they do become evangelical about flat Earth, they start saying, no, but you've got to understand, this is you know, once you learn about this, you learn the secrets of everything, and and it's, you know, maybe some things aren't meant to be understood. It don't matter. You haven't got to have answers for everything. And that's like quite a scary concept for some people, that like, well, I'll just go through life not knowing, and not really, it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah, I've had a whole family switch on me because I said I don't know, and I'm kind of cool with not knowing.
Yeah,
I'm like, right, you lot really, like, this is does it matter that much? Like, you still, like you said, you still got to go home. You're gonna go to school, go work or whatever tomorrow. Come back, have dinner. Like, nothing really. You still pay your bills. Still, like, everything's the same. Yeah, it's just that the plane you're living on isn't what you thought, but you never knew anyway. You were just told. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's actually the most valuable point with all of the debates back and forth about it, is the fact that, wow, we like, even though you lot are back and forth talking about this and measurements and heights and this, that, and the third, you still don't know. Yeah, because this is just information you've been given. And that information now, you've got to sort of either you believe it, and just because you believe it, it doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean that it actually is real. Yeah, it just means you believe it, and now, you know, you're with everyone else who does, and that makes it seem like it's real. The only way you'll know is when you can measure it yourself with your own eyes and your own hands and whatever. And then you can be like, okay, yeah, I know that it is. But until then, it's just a belief. And so that means that if you believe that, then you have to believe that everything else is not real. You know, it doesn't make sense. So now you have to look at all of that stuff to make sure that you know that it's not. You don't just believe that it's not.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's weird, man. But I guess that's what we go when we go back to the whole Prussian schooling system, innit? That's how they've made us.
Yeah.
Kind of try and learn. You know, it's just by reading and believing. And
I've always doubted everything that Mummy Professor tells me anyway. You know, it's not like I've never held credentialism as like an important, you know, people like, well, I've got a PhD, I should know. It's like, well, I think it's never been impressive to me when someone you know, I've done 3 years of studying that thing. Well, I've been studying it for 20 years using all sorts of different books from different sorts of disciplines.
Yeah.
You know, so is my studying more important because I've done it longer? But I don't, just because I haven't got an award for it or something to say like, well, here's a thing from Mummy Professor. Well done, well done, good boy. You studied for 3 years.
Caesar's
exactly the
degree,
books that we wanted you to study as well. You know, it's like they don't ever go off the. I remember having an argument with someone when they'd just finished university and they was telling me all about feminism and patriarchies and all this sort of stuff, and I was just like, half of what you're talking about is just stuff you've been told.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're just telling me stuff. You're repeating to me what you got told. Now, I've done other research. So, you know, is my stuff more important? Not to you because you didn't get told to read those books. But for me, I've searched through these books to find these little bits of information, you know, and then I've put the picture together myself. Yeah.
And this is how I see it. You know what I mean?
Is that less valid?
Yeah. They'll always argue, man. Shout to Omni Deluxe, Glasgow in the building. That's good to see, man. Shout to Oshi. Did I see Oshi's? I see Oshi's name there somewhere. Maybe I didn't. My eyes deceiveth. Yes, I bigged up Locke already, innit? Yeah. Yes, man. Shout out to the crew in the building, boy. Yeah. Oh, man. It's just funny, man. But it's interesting, like, having conversations with people. I had a good chat with rapper people might know. I'm not going to say his name. But he had, you know, I think he had a pretty rough one dealing with everything since the whole lockdowns and all that. But I think he's coming out of it. And but he was just saying, you know, he realizes like, yeah, there's a thing about coming to terms with, you know, once you start to see the signs and you're like, oh, right, yeah, for real, this is it. And then, but it's that thing of like, do you just accept that this is it? And then now you know, how's your mind going to deal with just accepting it? You know, and I think for him, it was like pretty rough and he ended up sort of, you know, going on a sort of downward kind of slope and just thinking like everything's shit now, can't go nowhere, what's the future going to be like type thing. But I think he started to like, okay, kind of come out of it. Obviously things have been brightening up, but then also like realizing, I need to start looking into this stuff, you know what I mean? And that's where the freedom is, man. You know, like what you were saying about looking into books. Where do you get books from? You get, you know, people go to the library, right? Library, L-I-B, lib. Where's that? Liberty. That's like freedom, right? So that means that that's where your freedom is actually finding out what the hell is going on for yourself. And then once you start to understand these things a bit more and you're like, oh, right, okay, so that's all they're doing, or this is all that this is, or oh, this whole thing, you know what I mean? Like when you learned about the terrain theory stuff, it's like, oh my days. So I ain't even got to be worried about it. Like all the stuff they're saying, that's all a load of bollocks anyway. And you just carry on with things. You're empowered, you know what I mean? There's a freedom to it. There's like, what, you think I'll be traveling back and forth? I'll be like shook, bruv. Like, oh, no, I don't know if bruv, you know what I mean? But because of that freedom and understanding, I've got to now read through the .gov website to see where I fit in, like how I can maneuver. Yeah, where's the loop? Because people, bruv, in and out. There's always going to be some loophole somewhere. But until you search for it, until you look for it, you ain't going to find it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until then. And that was that overcoming, is like realizing, oh shit, all the stuff I think is boring that I can't be bothered to do, there's a reason why I feel like that. Like they've kind of imprinted it into me to feel that way about it. So I don't look. So none of us look at any of the literature, go and look at like the real history, not all the stuff that you're just being told. And then you start to put the picture together a lot better. And then you can maneuver through the world. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why I'm on quarantine here now for the next 4 days.
Yeah. I mean, why do they have like things like they say it's a dangerous idea? Oh, we can't, you know, you hear them say it all the time. Oh, there's certain people they won't talk about their work because it's a dangerous idea.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because it tears apart all of the things you already know.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's dangerous because it breaks that status quo apart, and you know, it's introducing an idea that might not go with the current sort of
plan.
Literally, the plan. That's it. It's a dangerous idea.
Yeah, and I guess that's the same thing. Is when you're saying that made me think about when people say like, oh yeah, but that's anecdotal. You know, they talk about something and say, oh yeah, but, and it's like, yeah, but that really happened.
Yeah.
Like that's a fact. Like I went through it, or someone went, you know, they actually did it and went through that, and that was the outcome. So even you could say, oh, it's anecdotal, or make it sound like, put it under the umbrella of, oh, but that doesn't matter though because it's not scientifically proven, or blah 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 blah. But it actually is real. That really did happen. So we got to take them sort of things into account way more. And everyone has got anecdotal evidence. Everyone. So once you start looking within, you realize like, oh my days.
And what do they mean by scientific? They mean it wasn't isolated. So but how can you study anything in isolation? Like, how do we know that like putting mice in isolation doesn't make them ill? So when you start applying stuff to them, they're already ill.
Yeah,
you don't know that. They're in isolation. Everything's isolated. You've got them tied up. You've got them chained. They might be unhappy in that situation, and that maybe unhappiness makes you ill. I think it does. You know, being chained up leads to like some kind of illness, and then you're studying these things in a lab, and you're like, oh look, they've got these little things have grown in them, or these tumours have grown, or this thing's grown, or something. You know, that would happen to me if you isolated me as well and put lipstick in my eye. I'd probably fucking get tumours somewhere. Thinking,
exactly.
I'm not really happy like this. Can you actually untie me?
That's another thing. That's even...
How can you study things in isolation?
Yeah.
Nothing in the world works in isolation.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Remember,
so anecdotal evidence should be just as good as any other evidence, just because it's not fucking isolated.
But how do you make it so it's not? You call it, oh, that's anecdotal.
Yeah.
But that's not a scientific study. That's not peer reviewed. That's not, you know.
Yeah.
So you just
peer reviewed.
All the things.
Who owns all the review papers?
Peer
review
reviewed is the scientific fact checker.
It's basically,
That's science.
That's it. It's fact checker. Yeah.
Yo. So yeah, man. You know, it's those little things like that where it helps you peer through the cracks a lot easier, man. And I just find the shit fun, man, to be honest.
Yeah.
Shout out to Harry Love. He says cognitive dissonance for real. That's exactly what we're seeing, man. It's crazy out there. It is madness. What's the latest thing is, you know, all of these sort of videos, in it. There's like fake videos of what's going on in the Ukrainian. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know what is what, like what really is being aired on, you know, TV channels and what's not, but it's like, wow, it's like the Rona all over again, man. You know what I mean? Just all kind of, not as much, not as crazy. You know, not all the voice notes. I mean, I'm not on WhatsApp as much, so probably
but if you go down like the high street round here, they've got Ukraine flags up everywhere. It's just as they've just replaced the "Please wear a mask" signs with Ukraine flags.
Wow.
It's like unquestioningly just like, yeah, what's the next thing I've got to think? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's going on? See through the script in the building. Yes, bruv. Shout out to Teddy T. All right, so Teddy T's got a legit question. Were the moon landings fake? I legit don't know, to be honest. I mean, I tend to go with that they were, to be honest. If I feel like saying it on the spot right now, I'd have to say, yeah, they probably were, man. And, you know, it seems like there was a race, innit, to be the first one on the moon, and they just had to like, all right, who's the first one who can just make it look like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just as long as, you know, you put it in people's head, man. You plant it in people's heads.
Yeah.
You influence them to feel that way. You know, that's been a strategy for eons. It's like, okay, if you can't do it for real, you can make them think you did it.
Yeah. I think the images were faked, but I don't know if they
Fake
don't
the
know
whole
if they
thing.
didn't go there. I don't know if they right, okay. So if the moon is really a ball in the sky and you sent people there and they died live on telly, you'd probably not want that, would you? So, you know.
Oh.
So you just make up all the images and like, yeah, this is roughly what happened.
So you reckon they what? See, yeah, but that means they didn't go on there then.
The film isn't them going to the moon. The film is obviously faked. The film and photographs, obviously. When you look at all the inconsistencies in the film and the photograph, there's even some bits where they have the film and the photograph of the same moment, and they're different. So, you know, one of the pictures, it's a bloke jumping in the air, and in the film, he's just jumping in the air. In the photograph, the flap on his backpack's up in the air. You know, so
the flag.
It's meant to be the little flap on his backpack is folded up. But in the film, when he jumps in there, you don't see the flap go up. There's little things where you're like, yeah, I don't really know if the record is. You know, the sun is different sizes. So early on, the sun's really small in their visors, and then later on, the sun's massive in the visors. And then there's like 1971, and the bloke's got his visor up. He's like playing golf on the moon, you know, like them ones. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think the footage is them going there. I think the footage is definitely fake.
But you think that they went there though? Or no? Do you
I don't
reckon
think
they
went there using Saturn V rockets and Apollo shuttles. I think there's a different technology out there that's been developed since the 40s. You know, since the old. The Germans, basically.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Deep Diving Dan. Come on, D. Hit us with it, man. This is where we talk about the shit. So what you know, what's the theory then, that there's some kind of wormhole, some kind of portal?
So the Germans in the 30s and 40s were trying to develop not only they basically developed an alternative money system. Right, so there's two types of money. So there was usury, which is based on a finite amount of resources. So money, eventually, you have to put more money into the system because money runs out. And so the Germans used a system of money that didn't rely on debt. So they got rid of the debt-based system and brought in a non-debt-based system. And went from probably the poorest country in Europe in 33 to the richest country by about 37, using like a non-debt-based economy. So the way they then tried to apply this to physics, this idea that so conventional physics suggests that like everything runs out, that everything's finite. That energy's finite and resources are finite. So they started working on the idea that perhaps energy was limitless. So they looked for technologies where there was limitless energy. So it's like a mindset that they had of like, rather than things being finite and running out all the time, why can't we have a sort of society based around the idea that everything's limitless? So they developed like an alternative energy that was tapping into what you call like the 0 point, or, you know, what's another word people use for it? Ether, or
the ether,
prana, or you know, chi, or whatever people call it. So it's like a universal energy field that's there that you can, rather than using it up, you're sort of riding an energy that's already there. So say there's something moving, you then find a way to ride that stream as it goes round, sort of thing. you know, rather than sort of digging stuff out of the earth and burning it. And so that was possibly then taken by NASA or whoever, the Russians and whoever else, and developed after the war.
And then they were using that to shoot up there.
Well, if it's limitless and you can get up there for next to nothing compared to, you know, a Saturn V rocket that's filled with fuel and, you know, burns through a lot of fuel just to get out the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You show people that one, and then you carry on developing an alternative travel system behind the scenes. Which, why would you reveal that to everybody? Why would you say to everyone, oh, look, we've got this really experimental alternative that was, not only is it really good and it's don't cost anything to run, but also it came from the Nazis. You know, that's like your big sort of secret that you can't tell anyone, that like the people you've been going on about defeating for the last 10 years have developed the technology you're using.
Yeah, that's probably not the best USP to be using.
That's why they covered all the scientists who worked on the rockets. They covered up all of their Nazi past. You know, even though Von Braun was like developing rockets for Nazis and bombed Britain with rockets that he'd made and all that. They covered it all up.
Dark.
Well, who knows? I mean, you know, it could all just be
who
rumors.
knows, man? Speculation.
Rumors and speculation.
Yeah, speculation still. But boy,
even though there are papers from Russia that talk about these projects, you know, finding these projects, but could all be speculation.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, you have to dig deeper yourselves.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gleam. He says, MysDiggi, legit question 2. If you wanted to control the population, what better tactics would you use other than the ones they are using today? Or are they enough? Well, that's the thing, man. To be honest, yeah, the part I don't get is how much they want to control the population, and also like in what way, because it feels like the way they want to control people is very subvertly, very like undertone. It's like making you do things without you realizing you're doing them. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like that they're that bothered about the people who don't do these things, the people who they can't control, because and you know, so whether it's to do with like, who are these people? Like, are we talking about this little controller here that maybe just handles, you know, your council tax and your whatever, you know, just the low level kind of stuff, or is it or is it like the dude that, you know, you're shopping at most of his stores or whatever? Who is it? You know, there's so many levels of that control that it's really hard I can't really get my head around where it's at, but it feels like, there's a bunch of people that work together, but not all of them even know it, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's like that tentacles thing, man. Thing about an octopus. But yeah, in terms of what better way, I'd be like, it would just be arms house. It would be, you know what I mean? It would be straight up like, martial law. And so that's why I'm wondering, like, right, how bad can they make it get? Can it only be as bad as what they plant in your head? Do you know what I mean? Or can they do that? Can they take it to some Total Recall fucking, do you know what I mean? Apocalyptic, where it's like, you know, people talking about, they're building, what do they talk about? Like, they're building these big hangars and they're going to have people in there and they're going to be all like, you know, military base, and you have to live there and out of society. Yeah, it's like
3 meals a day.
Yeah, you're like, really?
What do they call it?
Whilst all this shit is going on.
On a cot.
Yeah. Whilst they're fixing up this motorway over here, and you know what I mean? It's like, bruv, really? Yeah, we put 10 billion into, you know, whether it be preserving some park or like, but they're doing all that as well. They're gonna put a bunch of people. I don't know, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They ran two tests, right? From like the 1950s onwards, they ran 2 different tests in 2 big areas of land. So they had the Soviet Union, communism, and they had America, capitalism, and they ran these they're just tests. All they are is an A/B test. They were testing the best thing that you could use to control people. So they're all in on it. They're all in on the same thing. All the controllers of the world, the social engineers, whatever you want to call them, were controlling communism and capitalism. They're an A/B test. See which one's best at controlling people. Then after 50 years, wrap one of them up and just put the other one on everyone. So if communism would have been a better way of controlling people, they would have imposed actual communism on everybody. But it turned out capitalism was the best way to control people, because you can sort of get people to like build their own prisons. Instead, you just, you find ways of giving them surveillance technology that they just carry around with them all the time, rather than what communism done, which is paying people to actually be the surveillance state, like come following you around, writing down what you're doing, getting your neighbours to spy on you and all that. They created like an untrustworthy society, but we're all carrying surveillance devices around with us, with AI computers,
Get the Rebel 2s on there.
Yeah. Surveillance capitalism, essentially. That's what it is, So capitalism won that battle between the A/B test. So now they're just imposing that on everything.
And that's how they're gonna.
That's how. Well, because you don't notice it. One, because you're buying material things all the time, so you think life's good. I can afford a telly.
You think you're free, yeah.
Yeah, I can get telly whenever I want. But they just banned Russia Today in England. So how's that democracy going that you thought you had? How's that free press going?
They just banned your life. They just told you what you could do, what they want you to do. That's the only thing you could do for the last 2 years. So what makes you think that you're free? You're free to do anything you want within these rules, bruv.
You're free to buy products.
That's freedom.
You're basically free to buy product and get excited for all the next products that come out. So, you've got to basically buy stuff and then look forward to the next Avengers film. That's your future. That's the future you've asked for as well. It's not, they didn't impose it on you. So when someone, who was it asking about it? What's another way to control people?
Yeah, Gleam.
They don't have to be totalitarian on you anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Because you'll do it yourself.
It's yeah. And you think, and like you said, we're under the illusion that we're free because I can buy this, I can go here, I can I can eat McDonald's. Yeah. Bruv, when I see people driving into the drive-through McDonald's in the car on their jacks with a mask on, I was like, you deserve that. You deserve that. Just enjoy that McD's, bruv. Enjoy that non-food that you're eating there, man. It's madness, bruv. It's madness.
I'm saving the planet. I'm buying all my vegetables wrapped up in plastic. I'm saving the planet. Oh, greengrocers are terrible. I want to just go and shop in a massive corporate supermarket with one supply chain rather than a greengrocer where loads of different greengrocers everywhere. Yeah. Fresh fruit and veg. No, I want this one wrapped in plastic.
Oh, man.
I chose that.
I want a plastic burger in a plastic bun, plastic cheese.
At least it ain't capitalism. At least it ain't communism. At least we've got the choice between Sainsbury's and Tesco's.
Shout out to Tom Arnott. He says, as long as the people they can't control, quote unquote, people they can't control, have no influence on the overall status quo, then they are, by definition, under control. Very interesting. And I think, and that goes to the levels that I'm talking about. You're free, so you have that freedom. That they're not controlling you to that level. Like obviously the fear, which is a big part of it. That's a massive part of it. As long as there's fear about, you're gonna need daddy to look after you.
Yeah.
So as long 100%. As people are scared, they're going, okay, what are you gonna do about it, Boris? What are you gonna, Sadiq, whoever? They're always gonna look at the same people telling you
100.
you should be scared. So that's already a fucked up situation there. But if you're not scared, that's a part where you are free. You know what I mean? Like I said, man's been back and forth now. Bam, bam, bam. If I was shook, I don't think I'd have done that because there's people I got to look after. Do you know what I mean? But the fact that I'm not now, it's a conviction. Like I know for a fact, you know what I mean? They're talking shit. This whole thing isn't the way that you think it is. We've never been taught how our bodies really work.
No.
Once you start finding out that shit and find it within as well, look into you have to, that's the only way, is you look within yourself, look at your past, things that have happened, like bam, bam, how many people you've been ill when they've been ill, how many people you haven't been ill when they've been ill. Oh, you're like, oh my God. And then you start seeing things just, but that's the only way. Me and Dan, we chat about because we've gone on our own and looked at it for ourselves, and then come together and started talking. Going, oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh, so you know about German new medicine?
We came at it from
yeah.
two different approaches.
Yeah.
Without even talking to each other, and came to the same conclusion.
So
that means
because
there's
it's
more
so
than one
obvious.
way of looking at it.
It's so obvious, but yeah, until you see it, you're going to be and questioning, and a lot of it is because we're reliant. You know, people are relying on the medical system, so. Because of that, but what if this happens and what if that? But brother, the information is out there. Same way you can find out that you don't have to be scared of nothing that they're telling you. The same way you can find out how to look after yourself as well.
But they also program like a sort of what I've heard people call it a war paradigm. I don't know what else you can call it, but like a sort of paradigm of like everything's attacking something. So when they tell you, look, like, yeah, these things are attacking your body. Then you're like, oh yeah, that's just like war. Yeah. You know, and then you apply all these other models that they tell you.
Yeah. Like, man, a gargling sanitizer and shit.
I've got to kill bacteria. Okay, what? All bacteria. Yeah, all bacteria. You know, or cancer. I've got to kill the cancer cell.
Yeah. Like, no, you ain't,
fight. I've got to fight cancer. It's all these words that we use where they're sort of implying subtly that you're at war with something all the time in your body, that there's always a war going on in your body. And that's their mindset, not yours. That's not the mindset of healthy people. Yeah. That's the mindset of people who have got problems, where they talk about fighting things
conflict.
All the time. Yeah, exactly. There's an inner conflict. Yeah,
there's an inner conflict. And trust, it's not that. It's a whole different thing. It's more or less opposite world. The shit that goes on. We're talking about it. It's more or less opposite world, man. We'll get into that on another show, man, for real. Because I actually want to dive into a few bits and bobs to do.
We need to get like a good,
that's a good idea.
Like terrain theory or GNM. Someone. Yeah,
maybe we can try and get the writers of that book, that What Really Makes You Ill.
Yeah, they look like they're up for a podcast, don't they?
Yeah. Shout out to Ken F in the building. He says the illusion of freedom. For real, that's it, boy. The illusion of it, man. It's a hard one, you know, to accept. But once you do, you know, I think it's better for you, man, because, you know, especially people around you, your loved ones, you can kind of school them a bit more on what, you know, what the world really is, man. You can't be like that mother lover. What's his name?
Zelensky?
Cypher.
Oh, Cypher, yeah.
Zelensky. Yo, that's the dude, the Ukrainian, the actor.
The dancer.
Even
like,
that, yeah.
Dancing actor.
It's like, bruv.
High heels and leather jacket.
To hear that story, man, that he played the president before he became the president and it was, the show was called, was it Save the People or something like that? And then the party that he ended up becoming president off the back of was called Save the People as well. Like, you can't make this shit up, man. It's like, yo, but as long as that info don't get out there enough, you know, just like Tom Arnott was saying, as long as there's not enough people that know that, they can carry on with the bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the hilarious thing. But I think all in all, and this is one part that I think is very much a benefit to knowing all of this stuff. That's why I'm really into like the secret knowledge and you know, the esoteric teachings and all that. Is that you know, you don't get caught up in it. You don't put as much energy into it as if you did, if you thought it was all real. And the main thing is they want is your energy. You know what I mean? The main thing. So people will be like, "Oh, did you hear that?" I'll be like,
I've got stuff to get on with.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Yeah. Like, whatever.
I'm going to the studio.
Yeah.
I'll leave you lot talking about it.
No, but they said that they're going to do and then I was like, right, where did you hear that? Yeah, it was on Channel 4. They said that. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I've seen. Oh, okay, yeah, it's mad, man. Okay. Move on, bruv. But yeah, man, the amount of energy that you end up putting into some of this stuff, man, I kick myself, man. I'm like, oh shit. Shout to your more.
Yes.
Rash, you got in late, boy. You got in late. Yeah, man, we was just chopping it up. It's good to see people in the building. We appreciate all you mother lovers, man. Yeah. Things have been moving though. It's good. So yeah, let me shout out Smokey Joe and the Kid. We just dropped a video today. It's out on their channel. A track called Culture Clash. Should we go cinema? We should take it to the cinema. Might as well, yeah. True, it's the first one. It's the first, you know what I mean? It's the premiere today, man.
More to come.
Yeah, we basically, me and the guy called Yoshi the Original. He's a French MC. And the guys came to us and said, look, we got this idea. You should have a culture clash, France versus England. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, perfect, man, because, you know, I've been going back and forth to France now the last 5-6 years or whatever. And it's been like,
noticed
you know,
a few things.
Well, I've noticed a bunch of a few things, boy. I'll tell you that, man. Like, culture clash indeed. Yeah, Premier Juggling. See, Bruce Willis knows, man. Shout out to Blue Fliggy, man. The Premier in the Jugglings. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there were things that I did notice. I noticed a few bits and bobs, and I'm still noticing as well, man. But I'll tell you what's beautiful, D, is like now with that esoteric mind, with like seeing things behind.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm seeing so much more, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like France. Oof. Boy, they got it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it hard, man. But yo, we did this track, France. Culture Clash, produced by Smokey Joe and the Kid. It's out on the album right now. That is available in all stores, called War Is Over. This is the tune that you might not never know nothing about. So check it out, my beloveds.
Hello? Hello? What do you want? What do you want? Can we come up and have a look? Of course not! You are English type, sir. Well, what are you then? I'm French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king? What are you doing in England? Mind your own business. Please, you stop now.
I guess I better fold this map. I never knew. I wish someone would have told me that. They said anytime you leave, you be rolling back. That's how you're supposed to act when your cultures clash.
London, Paname, c'est pas la même. MysDiggi, on dit quoi m'amène. Différents mais égaux face au micro. Unis par le son du Kid et Smokey Joe.
Just landed at Charles de Gaulle, the cabman's like, do you need a cab, monsieur? Grabs my luggage, cause he could tell my arms were sore. Told me one price, in the end charged me more. Wait, I realised there's a lot I need to know. Like why so many look like they got a stylist at home? And why does no one look at a frog like it's a toad? Why does everybody drive on the wrong side of the road, bro? Bad manners, so they claim they're polite war waging. Every other day there's a strike. Old man barge past, try to get his move on instead of, he shouts. This couple sound like the House of Parliament when they're speaking. They're screaming, but seem like they're arguing in agreement. A custom I could never get used to. And I swear if I trip over another French poodle, I'll kill them.
C'est pas la même. MysDiggi, on dit quoi m'amène. Différents mais égaux face au micro. Unis par le son du Kid et Smokey Joe.
I guess I better fold this map. I never knew. I wish someone would have told me that. They said anytime you leave, you be rolling back. That's how you're supposed to act when your cultures clash.
Hey yo Mice, pourquoi tu veux pas m'écouter? Je te l'ai déjà dit, c'est vous qui conduisez du mauvais côté. Les Anglais, mais quel peuple étrange. Je les trouve sympathiques, mais j'ai du mal avec ce qu'ils mangent. Exemple, chez nous les flageolets, c'est pour le cassoulet. Je n'ai jamais connu de Français qui au petit-déj en voulait. Jamais. Ce que je consomme ici me rend vraiment pas fou. Entre la bouffe insipide et les bières qu'on pas le goût. Mais j'ai mes petites techniques. Après ma 10e cuite, j'oublie l'horrible jelly et graille un fish and chips. J'ai voulu prendre le soleil, mais c'est la merde chez vous. Le ciel est toujours gris, normal que y ait que des roues. J'ai connu que la pluie, même quand je venais l'été. Je voulais des teasers de whisky, je n'ai vu que des buveurs de thé. Vivement que je rentre loin de ces autochtones banettes. Me faire un camembert avec une bonne baguette.
Now look here, my good man. I don't want to talk to you no more, you empty-headed animal fruit throat whopper.
You said what you said?
I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberry.
Your attitude is not just.
Alright, it's been some time now, I've settled in. Even got a Renault to drive around the meadows in. Early morning standing in line for fresh bread and things. Now I'm guzzling red wine down with everything.
J'ai pris goût au time juste avant de freestyle. 5 minutes inside, DBB n'est still fine. XX large et le smoke it still.
never get used to snails or that cheese with a doo-doo smell. In the food department, you do well. I told the chef as he passed me the sandwich, he said, oh, cause I can't speak the language.
On s'en bat les couilles de pas parler la même langue au final. Tant que la vibe est éminemment optimale. On mélange beat, fat, technique, flow. On est ensemble, fuck Brexit, bro.
Yeah, you said it, bro. They're blocking many routes till they stop us getting through. We ain't following the rules.
On fait bouger les foules, on aime kiffer ensemble. Le public devient épileptique et en tremble.
And you ain't lying, fuck Brexit. Any disagreeing can greet my exit with a French
On fait
kiss.
la guerre en concert, c'est moche, beat, pogo. Mais là c'est pas un clash, c'est un melting poteau.
Yeah, I guess I better fold this map. I never knew. I wish someone would have told me that. They said anytime you leave, you'd be rolling back. That's how you're supposed to act when your cultures clash.
London, Paname, c'est pas la même. MysDiggi, on dit quoi m'amène. Différents mais égaux face au micro. Unis par le son du Kid et Smokey Joe.
Non, pas the. La langue entre les dents. The. Ah, non.
Fire emojis, please.
Wait, I'm trying to send you. Oh, I don't know if that's it. Check if that's the artwork anyway.
All
But
right.
yeah, man, that's the that's the culture clash right there. Smokey Joe and the Kid featuring Yoshi the Original and MysDiggi. Hope you lot enjoyed that shit there, man. That was fun to do, boy. It's fun to talk about as well. Get it out, you know what I mean?
So when was that filmed?
That was last year, December. I think when I went out there in December, we filmed that. Yeah. It's December. Oh, yeah. It's either November or December. Because it's the fourth time, innit? I've been twice now. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, man. They did a good job, boy. Them guys, I'm telling you, man, they're creative, man. In France, they have... Obviously, we know France is about the arts. But
Yes.
we see it on the superficial level. We see like the performance. We see, you know, whether it be dancers, painters, you know, mimers, whatever it is. We see on the bureaucratic side, like the political side. You start to see like, oh wow, there's something going on where they make sure that that's out there. They make sure that there's always entertainment. You know what I mean? And so they have a thing called intermittence where, you know, if you're an artist or you're involved in the arts in any way, so you could be lighting, you could be a painting, you could be, you know, roadie, driver, manager, you know, whatever. As long as you're involved in some way, you put on festivals or whatever, you got the office and whatnot, you have a non-profit organization and whatnot, you can get funding from the government.
Yeah.
So that's from, you know, writers, MCs, singers, whoever, musicians. You get funding from the government, but you're classed as unemployed. But you obviously get bookings and whatnot. So I guess it's like you're...
I think Scotland used to do it as well.
Oh, did they?
I think they used to give you extra money on your dole or something if you was an artist or musician. Or something like that.
Yeah, and so they, you know, they really look out for the arts out there, and because of that, you know, things are thriving. And like I'm saying, the creativity is next level because there's so many people doing it as well, you know. So yeah, it's really interesting, man. But watching them work and putting the ideas together and whatnot, yeah, man. Yeah, big up, man. Salute to all you mother lovers out there. Enjoying that right there, man. Yeah, the album is out right now. War is Over. It's got some beautiful features on there. You know what I mean? You definitely got to check it out. R.A. the Rugged Man's on there. Blackout J.A. Who else? There's some names I'm forgetting. Obviously Yoshi, myself. So there's a mixture of, you know, English-speaking artists as well as French. But the production's off the hook, man. So shout out to the Kid. Shout out to Smokey Joe. Shout out to PJ. Shout out to Yep. Gangsta Yep. Yeah, and big up all the rest of the crew, man. It's a lot of fun, man, working with them. Telling you that. Shout out to Clem and Jules, Max, Wong Wong. You know, my French, I'm learning, you know what I mean? A little bit by bit, man. Big up. Shout out to Ken F, Kenny Rebel. You're more. Yes, Weird Tone. He says rhyme pattern always on point. Bless up, bruv. Teddy T didn't need subtitles. Go on. So, parlez-vous français, eh? Ah, quoi?
Good. It's getting better.
Hey. Putain. Bruv, all they've done is taught me all the fucked up words.
Yeah, good.
So it's like I meet someone, hey, how you doing? Fuck you. Your mum, yeah, I mean, fuck your mum, fuck you, yeah. Nick ton père, nick ta mère, putain, connard. It's like, bruv, that's, they just give me all the fucked up shit to say. I'll get through somehow. You know what I mean? Yo, it's investigation time, man. We didn't get through these the other week, so let's try and get...
Oh, that's a good one. Look, do you like my investigates this
Wow, is that how you're going on? If only, boy. Scrooge McDuck. Is that Scrooge McDuck, isn't it? Yeah, man. Scrooged out, bruv. You know what I mean? Try to get that paper investigating all this bullshit. Let's get into this one, man. Mice Investigates. Yeah, we'll ask this one, but we're going to ask the common sensors. We'll upgrade the question a bit. But the question was, Mice Investigates, what would you do for 50 grand? What would you do? We was hoping people would get creative with it. You know what I mean? But some people, I don't know, they got a little bit lost. So we'll ask the common sensors. What's the most embarrassing thing you'd do for 50 grand? Hit us up. Check, please. I think that was for the first one. What would you do for 50 grand? Gleam says a gig. All right, let's get into it. First of all, shouts out.
Oh, hold on. I've still got Master Marks up there.
Yeah, I was going to say shout out to Master Marks because we actually did drop this one for that session. But, you know what I mean? We got into it crazy with Master Marks, man. Definitely check out that episode because it was interesting. Talking about the fear, you know what I mean?
Yeah, very.
And dealing with the fear.
Very poignant.
He's a parkour guy, you know, a free runner. So does a lot of jumping around, flips and all types of, and some dangerous stuff, man. We went through some of his videos and yeah, it was definitely worth tapping into his brain and finding out how the hell he deals with all of that, because boy, next level. And it was interesting as well because we were trying to link it to, you know, how dealing with the fear with all of this, with the Rona stuff. But then, yeah, it kind of ended up like he got the quacks and that. It's like, okay. Then I was like, oh, so he just wasn't scared of the quacks anyway. He was like, yeah, whatever's going on, I'll just sort myself out. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it made me think about the fact that no matter where you are in life, what you do, even if it does to someone from the outside, it might feel like, okay, you probably would be, and then it's like, nah, this is a whole different thing. This is to do with health and shit. I don't know, you know, and I do other stuff that I don't even know that is bad for me. That's where we've all been. We're all, so it just depends on whether something clicked, and you tap out of that or not. But yeah, it was really interesting, man. So yeah, check out that was the last episode right there. Let's get into some answers for this. Mice Investigates, what would you do for 50 grand? Common senses. What's the most embarrassing thing you do?
Kenny Red Bull teabagged the Queen.
Would that be embarrassing?
Yeah. You more said it's not enough money.
Whoa. What, to teabag the Queen?
Or to do a gig. Not sure.
Yeah. I mean, one of them, you know, one of them is definitely going to be, there's going to be consequences and repercussions. But yeah. So what would you do for 50 grand? Shout out to Sound of Noise UK says, get out of bed. Wah, ah, 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 ah. I think there's a few of them get out of bed. Yeah. Kenny Rebs, man, he said Mercatory. Jeez. Mercatory. Yeah, like I can only hear that in a grime voice. The way that he's written it out there. Mercatory. 50 grand. Boy, that's asking a lot, but shout out to Paint Tings. Wicked artwork on Paint Tings page. Says, someone bothering you, mate. Because 50 racks says I can make that little problem disappear. You know what I mean? Oi, oi. Fear says, have a job. There was no blow before or after that statement. right there. I'll let you know. Pyramide says, make a dope beat. Pyramide's got some fire out there. Played that the other week. Master Mark says, usually I work all year to get it. To get 50 grand. So I guess that's what he'd do. Shout to POK. He's disappeared.
Yeah.
Some more stuff from the bucket list for sure. For 50 grand. What would people do for 50 grand? See, it should have been what's the most embarrassing thing you do. Then people really let out their inner fucking, you know what I mean? Their inner outer. Shout to Don Smithies. Don Smith had said, I'd do a lot for 50 large right now, given the opportunity. Why? Do you know where it is in cash? Yo, forward big split. Yeah, man. Everyone wants to make that P right now. Oh my God, it's Green says, change my opinion. For 50 grand, he'd change his opinion. And I was like, on what? And he said, a lot, mate. Yeah, you see the things money can do? Make you change your opinion. Versatile DJ, see, this was something creative. It said, get my legs replaced with trombones.
For 50 grand.
I don't think you'd really do that, but
This is quite a good one.
thing,
yeah, it's creative, yeah.
Wow. 5 Element Ninja K said, move to Atau Mountains and have a yurt harem of many eagle hunter mandem. Eagle hunters, boy. So are that's people using their eagles to hunt, or
I guess so, yeah.
they can't be hunting eagles, man.
No, surely not.
You know what I mean, with a slingshot and shit. It's like, you ain't catching no eagles, man.
No.
Dean Mason, 94214. He says, a year's graft, not greedy, just want to earn a few quid more. That's decent, man. You know what I mean? I'll do a year's graft for 50 grand, mate.
Gleam said similar thing. Work for a year, as that is his salary. So, yeah. That's what he already does for 50 grand. And I don't know what job Gleam does, but it maybe doesn't mean embarrassing thing.
Yeah, can't be embarrassing to work, man.
Unless he's
You
like
gotta do
a
that.
clown or a children's entertainer or...
Yeah.
Still.
A lot of adult children entertainers are kind of, you are a bit like, who are you? Like, what type of person are you doing that job? Like, why do you do that job? What is it? You know what I mean? You're always a bit like, yeah. Are you a happy person? Like, behind all of that fake smile you got to do for these kids. You know what I mean? Are you really fulfilled within yourself? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is all that weight, is that happy weight or is that sad weight?
And then you got to sometimes go in, you don't feel like going in. You just had an argument with a dog. You still got to go to work.
You just had an argument with your kids and now you got to go and entertain kids and shit. Like, oh, man.
Every one of them reminds you of your kid.
Yeah.
The little thing you've just had an argument with.
There's like one that's got
Still
exactly the
reeling.
same outfit.
I'm still reeling from that argument where he just kept going, but why, to me.
The one kid's got the exact same outfit and shit. Just looking at you, you're like, you're getting out of my face. You fucking kids, man. All right, I'm just going to go to the toilet. We go to the toilet. You fucking kids, man. Oh, shit. Shout to Clive Nicely. For 50 grand, he said probably something along the lines of eat fried chicken out of a cat's ass. Creative as a mother lover. And then Mass Artem was like, I love how specific this is. I mean, how much more specific? It can't be. I would eat fried chicken out of... What would you say then? You know what I mean? Out of something's ass. Then it would be like, right, what? What would it be? No, a cat's ass. Oh, okay. It's like, oh, okay. I thought
That makes it right.
That makes sense, man. And then, but so Master was like, Mass Art, was like, I love how specific this is. And then Clive come back with maybe a bit of barbecue sauce or some chili.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's like getting deep, man. But yeah, that's that, man. Yeah, you know, people are a bit nuts out there. I do love it though. We appreciate it. You know what I mean? You gotta have a laugh.
Who else we got in the?
That's hilarious, man.
Blue's saying, "What would Gleam do for an extra 50k on top of his yearly salary?"
Yeah, see it there.
Yeah, there you go.
Put him on the spot now. We're gonna put Gleam on the spot.
Teddy
we'll have to
T.
sort it out either next week or the week after.
Teddy T put it into flat Earth research. It wouldn't go far. You probably get
you'll be all good, man. Like, I basically look. You're doing flat Earth research, yeah. Just get the app because he's got all the shit pops up. That's what he was talking about. He goes, "Oh, go check this video," and he was saying that a lot of the flat Earth stuff gets shadow banned and whatnot on YouTube. So his app just makes sure that you get all the stuff there and not all the bullshit as well. Not the stuff where they're trying to throw you off.
And you might even get a bird out of it.
Yeah, as well.
Pay $11 extra a year.
You might get married, bro.
Yeah.
You might imagine that you get married off the flat Earth app.
You might find a flat-chested, flat Earth girl. All flat everything.
She's
flat bum.
She's into pancakes and pizza. That's what she likes, pancakes and pizza, boy.
It's an easy first date. A box of Ritz crackers for her. Oh, you thought of Ritz crackers, round, flat things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Egg, fried egg. Do you want breakfast? Fried egg.
Round.
Yeah. Black pudding. Tomato. Half a tomato.
Mate, no, the firmament. It's the firmament. You make it like a dome thing. So everything's got to be served up as a dome. You just put it rice. You just put it in a bowl. Turn it upside down. But look, especially for you. This is the firmament.
The rice that way, and then the chili on the top. It still looks like a dome in a way. But, they say it's flat. So whatever they want.
Well, I'll put a pizza in the oven if you're not happy with that, man. Quiche. We say it like, oh, man. Yeah, boy. It's hard work, man. But yeah, you know what I mean? You put that money into flat Earth research, you might get to the bottom of this shit.
Yeah.
Just fly out there. Just bruv. I'm going out there.
Blue would run the outdoor survival courses. Yeah, that's specifically sensible, actually.
Outdoor
survival courses. 50 grand, I reckon that's probably not far off what it would cost to set up some sort of outside survival course school. 50 grand.
Yeah.
Good start.
That's true,
They bring all their own gear. They bring your own tarp with you, your own fishing hooks.
Your own tarp. Your own Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. You got to provide anything.
Hey, black guys, get yourself a Swiss Army knife, mate. Oh, what's the... Blue, you used to have one. What was it called? The Gerber. Is it the Gerber?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's
like a sort of multi-tool.
Yeah. The Gerber, boy. That shit was you can't fuck around with that.
No.
You know what I mean? You only got to pull it out when you're supposed to, man. People be like, yo, he's about to kill someone up in here. No, mate, I just got a flat tire. I'm just sorting that. Yeah, Gerber, boy.
That's like a roadie tool.
Yeah.
You see roadies with
it's like
Gerbers.
Do you know what I mean? It just looked like a deadly Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Type thing. Like, right.
Got pliers. You could, you could do a sort of off-the-cuff torture with it.
Yeah, straight up.
Little mini saw, all sorts of bits, yeah.
Like the shit on a Swiss Army knife is like, you can see why they let you walk around with that. But on a Gerber, you're like, right, this is like Swiss Army knife, but on steroids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's punched up GHG, all types of shit, man. Right, Mommy's been on the Arnie diet, Roddy Coleman diet,
Yeah.
like.
It's a German army knife.
Yeah,
the Swiss
yeah.
knife. They laugh at the
It's
Swiss. with them.
levels. Nah, yeah. Gerber's like, bruv, I'll have you up. Call that
Swiss
a
army
knife.
knife, you survive like a couple of hours with it. Gerber. You can survive a few days.
Gerber, like, you're a terrorist with that shit. You know what I mean? You can't pull that out just anywhere. People be like, yo, what the fuck's going on? I was about to kill up the place, boy. Gleam said he would moonwalk on the moon. With David and Mice floating in the background. Yeah, that's hilarious. That was hilarious, Steve. When we floated around in his front room and shit. It's like, shit, I'm a spaceman.
I don't know whether he appreciated it, but
I don't think he even saw it really, but because he was so, he's intense, man.
yeah.
It's good. Like, I think it's good that you've got someone like that pushing. There are so many other people as well, but of his character pushing it, I think is quite important because it gets into people's faces. And like you said, he's had arguments and then where they've gone, shit, okay, maybe he's right, like he's changed people's minds off the back of him being so, yeah, I love it, man. Kenneth said Gleam is a whack animal. I seen dude type him when he's asleep at 4 a.m. Fucking hell, man. You don't give me too much joke, man. All right. Embarrassing things, okay. Kenny Rebel said Gerbers are like the witherspoon some knives. Bro, don't try it, man. Mama's always got some cocky shit to say. Like, what? Now, I'm talking about the shit that you can carry around in your pocket. Gerber's like, rah. What the fuck is that, bruv?
Don't they have like an extra thing on their belt for a Gerber? You have like an extra little pouch on your belt, I think.
Yeah,
not the sort of thing you just put in your pocket.
Nah, I guess not, but
quite bulky.
Yeah, it is bulky, but I mean, you can put it in your pocket.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. But I bet Blue's got a little pouch on his belt for it.
Next to the bum bag. Next to the bum bag pouch.
Bum bag's got the waterproof matches in there. 1 meter square of tarpaulin.
Waterproof matches.
Couple of bits of cotton wool to light the fire with.
Yeah.
Or like bits of steel wool. That's the other thing they use, steel wool.
Yeah. Waterproof matches, boy. That's prepared, man. How many of you lot are prepared then? Has anyone got their gear prepared? Like, their underground bunker? Have you got all your tins and non-perishables together and that? Anyone out there?
It's Blue.
Toilet roll.
Yeah, it comes with a pouch.
I think Blue's ready with that.
Blue comes with a pouch that's strapped to the belt. Yeah.
Yeah, see it there. Massive. Yeah. Okay, so Gleam's giving us a little task. I got a feeling it's going to get deep when he comes on, man.
Official channel and explain at 7 minutes 30 seconds why they are saying a wave is the curve of Earth.
The Earth versus around Earth Explorer.
A wave is the curve of Earth. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
he's giving us homework.
Yeah.
They didn't know it was going to turn into homework.
Yeah, I think, at least he's
not a fan of homework.
We're going to check it after, man.
Yeah.
If we don't, we'll probably be fucking up.
I don't want to get detention.
Shout out to DJ Lock Preppers. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. Blue, as we said, he's prepped. He's got all these tins. So, Blue, do you have to update the tins every few years? It's like operating system, isn't it?
Yeah, some things get better, definitely. Yeah, surely. I mean, you get better knowledge of it, don't you? So first of all, you might have just normal matches, and then after a couple of years, you're like, do waterproof matches. I have to replace all my matches now. Cycle the old ones out. Just every time anyone has a cigarette, you're like, shh. You don't need that. Matches for.
Yeah, take these, man. Yeah, take these, man. Might need them, innit? Yeah, careful now, they don't work. Cut the water. Careful though, yeah. Like if it's raining and that, fucking nightmare. It's a nightmare, bro.
Yeah, he's saying Doomsday box in the garage and various bags packed. Blue. I've got three bags packed. I've got one in the car. I've got one in the car. I've got one in my house that's like a bigger one, slightly bigger. One in the car is sort of like if a car breaks down, I've got stuff to just survive for the night. And can of diesel in there, you know, got clothing, different bits in the car, just normal bits. If you open the boot, you'd think like, oh, it's just some bags of stuff. There's not a lot of room. It takes up a little bit.
But you know, you got enough in there to last you like.
I could get by.
Yeah.
In the you know, for a whole night, and then probably another day or whatever. If in England I ever broke down somewhere where there was nobody ever around, which is very unlikely, I think.
Prepped, boy.
And in the house, I've got like another bigger bag with a bit more. That's a bit more heavy duty, a bit more serious.
Well, that's like Is that the apocalypse bag? That's the apocalypse bag.
That's got the tripwires.
Doomsday, like
that's got the tripwires, the pipe bombs, everything I'm going to need for my version of Doomsday.
It's got the compass in the square, boy.
My version of Doomsday isn't like that. The world's ending. It's that the world's ending for you. That's what it is. Not ending for me. The world ain't ending for me. The world's just starting for me. Because now I've got all your stuff.
Yeah.
That's
I was gonna ask, like, what is? Yeah, people were in the comments as well. If you can answer, like, what is your version of Doomsday? Because you know what I mean. Everyone, I think, has got a different idea of what.
That would be a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what for the investigators. Yeah, maybe we should investigate that.
Yeah.
Look into this flashy light that I got from Will Smith. Forget I even asked that. We'll try and remember that. Though.
Blue's got one strapped to the front of the bike, ultra lightweight for one person, and it steps up per bag from there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So you don't get me paranoid though, man. Now I'm thinking like,
don't be paranoid. Be prepared.
Yeah, I should be prepped though, innit? Have the bag stashed. It's like bam, 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 bam.
Just different sizes.
And then what? Yeah. Have you? And so there's tins and all that as well in there, sardines and shit.
No, at home the tins are in plastic boxes with the dates on the front of when they run out in 6-month increments. So I've got everything up to like, I don't know, 2024 or something.
Oh wow!
Not loads of stuff. It's just stuff like Blue saying you have to cycle it out and.
Wow, till 2024.
Yeah, it's mainly just pasta and toilet roll.
That's deep, man. Wow. Yeah. It's got me thinking now, man.
Just simple stuff. The thing is, you never know, you know. So
you got pasta, sauces,
tins of meat.
What, that corned beef and shit?
Yeah, corned beef, spam. Stuff that you can sell or trade with.
I'm laughing, man.
I've got salt.
This is spam.
I've got salt in all my bags. You can always trade salt. Salt's important, isn't it? Salt's more important than money.
Yeah, spam as well.
But the thing is, some people like spam.
Yeah,
so if you're in a bind and you're like, fuck, these people, they want food. I'd be like, do you want some spam? Yeah. Oh, spam. Yeah, or chicken curry. Carry a tin of chicken curry. Who's not going to be able to resist that? You could make friends with a can of chicken curry if everything's gone wrong, couldn't you? You could make friends with the sort of people that are impressed by a tin of chicken curry. But what you got to ask yourself is like, they're the sort of people that aren't your friend for very long as well. When the chicken curry's down,
are they really your friends? Yeah, are they really your friends? It's only the chicken curry that's making them stick around. So you really got to analyze that, you know what I mean, and break it down. Because
you got any more of that chicken curry? And you go, nah, and then you see him like that.
They ain't talking to you no more.
Yeah, like, am I gonna Am I going to bump him
That's
off?
them. They're just looking at their bikes like.
They're just looking at your Gerber.
I don't look bad when he finishes opening that can with that Gerber. Scrab him from.
When he finishes opening that can of spam with that Gerber.
Yeah, fuck
We'll
you
have the
know.
Gerber and fuck off.
Spam. Nah, man, they were on a spam campaign a few months back, man. I remember, like, during the whole pandemic, the lockdown and all that. It's like, bruv, come on, man. It was like, yeah, you can. They're trying to make it like, hey, you can make this with it, like some kind of like, you know, sausage substitute. They're trying to
Spam
substitute the
casserole.
sausage for spam.
Spam
yeah,
bolognese.
it was like that. They were talking like that. Like, yeah, you can make spam casseroles and like, bruv, spam and bolognese. Like, come on, man. Ease me up, man. Just wait till the apocalypse. At least ease me up to the apocalypse, man. At least then. What was that program we were talking about? It used to come on late at night in like the 80s, 90s. And it was like
Get Stuffed.
Get Stuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like grimy. That's what the
hell.
spam reminds me of, man. They're talking about.
Get Stuffed is just this is because it's 11 o'clock. It's Gen X content only now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Get Stuffed.
It's like just stay in school, stay in college,
Yeah.
stay in university.
You're in university. It's
Yeah.
a crazy way to cook up some food. Crazy way to cook up everything left in the cupboard.
You got some pot noodle? Right.
Got some beans.
Check. You got an egg? Check. Yeah, just throw it all in the oven. Whack it on 360. Right, bro. 10 minutes. Yeah, that was bad, man. Get stuffed. That was fucked up.
If the other people remember it. Yeah.
That shit was messed up, man. Get stuffed. Look what they were trying to make you eat, man. Fucking pot noodle sandwiches and shit. You know what I mean? Mighty white bread and that. Margarine. Margarine's got to be one of the biggest jerks.
Oh yeah.
They messed us up.
Submarine. What was it? Some sort of lubricant for submarines that they repackaged or something. That's what it was.
You serious?
Yeah. That's what it originally was. Yeah. Some sort of government like commissioned lubricant that it was like, nah, we can't use this. What can we do with it? Oh, sell it as a butter substitute.
Tell him it's healthier than butter.
So you should do the outdoor expedition with Blue anyway.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah,
Well, that's a good idea, Blue.
You could do so. Like, have you seen
That's a
Survivor
good
Man?
idea. Yeah,
Les Stroud.
yeah, I have.
Yeah, you should do that. Yeah,
That's a good
just
one.
take some cameras out and just do like a whole, strap a GoPro to your head,
Yeah.
put another one on your bag, and just take a drone. Just film the whole thing as you survive.
How long will we do? A weekend?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, weekend if you can.
Weekend expedition.
That'd be well good.
All right. Yeah, let's hook that
K
up.
Rebel's got a water filter.
Is it one of them? I remember Blue had a mad water filter where you could like muddy water, apparently.
What, and you filter muddy water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
What's it filtering it with though?
Like a few different things, like charcoal, something else. I don't know. There's like different materials that you can use to filter the water, and it draws like charcoal draws out
The
toxins,
impurities,
doesn't
yeah.
it? So you can eat charcoal to draw out toxins. So yeah, I suppose if you're putting it in water, if you're putting water through charcoal filters, it must draw out toxins and stuff in the water. Your more's got a chainsaw but no supplies. That is a good tactic. Is that you just all you buy is weapons,
Yeah.
and then everyone's stuff's yours anyway.
Yeah, that might be the way.
And take what you want. So yeah, you're more of a chainsaw.
Iodine.
That is apocalyptic on its own.
Yeah. You're more with a chainsaw, definitely,
Yeah.
man. That's
You
dangerous.
just got to find petrol. That's it, or a power point if it's a plug-in one. You need to have somewhere to plug it in, but it's probably
You use iron brew.
probably a petrol one powered by iron brew.
Use some margarine. Margarine would probably work, man. Thinking about that shit.
Gleam saying Doomsday has already happened. People are being tricked.
When was Doomsday then? Gleam? Moringa seeds filter water. I didn't know that.
Ah,
Shout out to DJ Locke. Okay. I want to look into that, man. Moringa seeds. Yeah, moringa's a really good plant, really strong, powerful superfood.
Tins of chili con carne ain't too bad these days. Blue's saying. Yeah, I've probably got chili. I think I've got some sort of thing like that. Yeah, some sort of beef or.
You want
something.
beans? Definitely want beans. That protein.
You can sell them as well. I know people love beans.
You'll last longer. You know, protein makes you feel like you're full up.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, water filter. You got to have to be ideally something you can carry around. Shout out to Lawrence Lindberger in the building. He says iodine. That's for sure. Iodine is definitely up there. That shit, woo! I'm telling you, man. When you get cuts, it's gone. That shit deals with your cuts nice and neatly. Shout out to Richie O. Gorman. I was about to say German, but it's Gorman. Shout out to Richie O. Gorman, man. Big up, man. Shout out to all the people locked in. We appreciate each and every one of you mother lovers. Each and every week we try and bring you this, man. Some shit you might not never know nothing about. We got to shout out our sponsors. Of course, first of all, the CMOS boss. We get into that and do it properly. Is always bringing you that quality material straight from the Irish coast, mother lovers. Quality sea vegetables straight from Ireland. What makes the products different is that the sea moss and sea veg is 100% wild crafted and not farmed or roped like most others on the market. The products are certified by the Irish Organic Association and harvested from the rocks, which allows the veg ample time to sit in pools of cold sea water. You hear that? Yeah, cold sea water. The veg sits in cold sea water, which are replenished by the tides, giving it time to absorb the essential minerals that they provide for the veg, and in return for our bodies. Irish moss was widely used to sustain the lives of thousands of Irish people during times of famine. Because of the amount of minerals and vitamins that sea moss contained, it helped not only to overcome, but for the Irish to thrive in such harsh conditions. And it's for this reason we believe in Mother Nature. That's why we are mother lovers. And know that she is giving us all we need to survive and thrive on this planet. And they're not lying, mother lovers. I'm telling you right now. Quality material, man. You can get sea moss, and that's Irish moss. That's not just sea moss, you know what I mean? That's the real thing. You can get sea moss gel, obviously organic, wild crafted. You can get sea moss gel mixed with bladderwrack as well. Bladderwrack is really potent with iodine. It's really good for the ladies and the gents as well, man. If you've got thyroid problems, you know what I mean?
You got thyroid problems. You got thyroid problems.
Yeah, man. Whether lady or gent.
Yeah.
You can get sea spaghetti, which is rich in a bunch of minerals as well. Spirulina flakes, bladderwrack flakes. You can get the real sea spice. You can get real dose as well. The dose, legit, man. Something that is potent, bruv. It's got a salty taste to it, you know what I mean? But it's rich in calcium, iron, iodine, copper, manganese, magnesium, potassium, zinc, and a whole bunch of other shit you might not never know nothing about. Telling you, you can't go wrong. And guess what? If you go there now, that's the cmossboss.co.uk, by the way. If you go there now, you can get yourself 10% off any order by typing in about 10. That's about 10. ABOUT 10. 10% off any order from the CMOS Boss. Moving on, we got a shout out our brothers at connoisseursuk.com. That's right, mother lovers. connoisseursuk.com, where you can get top quality organic products containing CBD. And when I talk about products, I mean products that are special. You got CBD Belgian chocolate. You got dark chocolate. You got regular milk chocolate. You got CBD natural balms. And by the way, these products, you can get them either in sativa form or in indica form. We've spoken about the difference between indica and sativa.
In the car.
in the car. So you're leaning in
back.
the car. You're like, yo, I'm not in the car, boy. So that's the lean shit. That's what, oh, brothers, it make me sleepy, though. And then the other shit, which is like, oh, brother, will it make me paranoid, though, is the sativa. That's like, you know, in general, we understand it as being a bit, you be a bit more sort of in a higher state, you know. It's more of a head buzz and whatnot. But as we spoke about during the episode where we covered, you know, the idea of that, we found out that the terpene is also involved in that as well. So sometimes it can be an indica, but you get an upper because of the flavor, the terp. So, you know, it all depends. But in terms of these products here, you can get either or you can get the full spectrum. So you can get CBD balm, which is really good for rashes, aches and pains as well, joints and whatnot. You know, if you do training, you know, muscle aching and whatnot, it's a very good thing you can use to massage into your muscles. You also got CBD oils, which are sprays. You got a couple different sizes, and you can get sativa or indica of them, or you can get a full spectrum as well as the CBD oil. You can get a full spectrum of that. And yeah, I'm on the full spectrum jugglings, man. I'm telling you, it really helps, man. It's good for sleep, keeps you calm as well. Like in situations where, you know, you might be like, all hectic and frantic. It's like,
like doomsday.
Man. Yeah, doomsday, exactly. Like, now I'm thinking, okay, yeah, maybe I will go.
Maybe I could have
prep.
dooms.
Yeah. You know, I think it's worth like having there just in case. Just in case. It's things that you could control, you might as well. You know what I mean? And when you know you've got that there, it's like, bam, all right, cool. And I've got my few days sorted. Yeah. If it does happen, and I'll
remain calm,
keep the rotation going.
Remain calm till the full spectrum runs out, and then
that's when I'll be like, yo, yeah. Yeah, that's when I'll be in danger. Chocolate stirrers as well. They're beautiful, man. Just dunk them into some hot water, spin them around. Next minute, you got a hot chocolate with CBD in it, sipping that. Bam. When it's time to go to sleep, you're out. And then you wake up in a bed of clouds. Just wake up like, yo, that felt good. Yeah, man. So hit them up. CannacersUK.com and make sure you type in special code to get yourself 20% off, which is SYM for mother, N for N for N again, K for no. Hey, I'll mess you up there, innit? That's KNA, mother lovers. In other words, something you might not never know nothing about as an acronym. 20% off CannacersUK.com CBD products. And we appreciate all you mother lovers out there that appreciate CBD products. Because without you, they might not be there. You know what I mean? We're lucky, man. So yeah, that'll definitely be my doomsday pack. That's another investigation I'll probably put out there. What 5 items would you definitely need in your doomsday pack?
Right, yeah. That's a good one. In your bug out bag for doomsday.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Irish. Shout out to Torain. Oh, it's been a mad one, man. I'll tell you that, mate.
And then the other one was what was the other one for the Mice Investigates? Doomsday.
What?
What's the apocalypse, or to you? What's your?
Oh yeah. What is the apocalypse in your? What that's? How do you ask that?
What does doomsday mean to you? Was it that?
Yeah, because I was asking what is your definition of doomsday?
What's your definition? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What's Blue saying?
You're not seeing this is you're in the this is the after hours. You're seeing this is how we work normally.
Yeah,
this is it. We just like bounce stuff backs and forwards, and then I just type stuff out and we laugh.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
That's Irish right there, man. I was all shouting out his government name. You know what I mean? Shout out. Yes, big up, man. That's so funny as well that he's locked in. And I said, he probably locked in as soon as we running the ad as well. Yeah, man. Boy, that's a mad one, bruv. Yeah, you missed out, man. We went in a little bit. Went in on a little to do with what's been going on, what's been happening. I think, we probably got to round off. But I think all in all, man, you know what I mean? As long as people aren't getting too carried away with these narratives out there, then you're standing on solid ground. 'Cause that's the important one, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Regardless of whether they want us to believe there's an apocalypse or not about to happen. You know what I mean? Just stay calm.
And just remember, nukes ain't real anyway, so...
Yeah, that's another one.
You're going to look up nuclear weapons. They're not really real.
Be prepared. And, well, even there's the thing about...
not that there's going to be a nuclear war. I didn't mean to... It's like a 11:15 at night and people are probably getting ready for bed. And I'm like, yeah, just don't worry about nuclear war. I don't mean that. There's not going to be a nuclear war.
Yeah, I don't think there is. And anyway, you know, Dan's not Nostradamus or nothing, so don't expect anything he says to really happen.
But
he is like a mini Mason. I've realised that's what we'll call you, a mini Mason, because he's got a compass and a square. He's a carpenter basically, but he kind of gets where.
It's only a school compass and square. It's not
when the pyramids were being made, he'd have probably been around somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So don't count him out.
No.
Right. What was the other thing now? We wanted to give a shout out to everyone that was locked in online, to all the people that are listening to the podcast. We appreciate you, mother lovers, as well. You know what I mean? If you couldn't catch the visuals. Obviously the trip to France, that was good. Came back on the weekend. And everything was a bit smoother, man. And they're pulling back on restrictions like in the next week or so, I think.
What, in France?
Yeah, in France. It's quite odd, you know what I mean? I'm confused about it, but it's a good thing anyway.
It's a war on now. So
I guess so.
Forget about what else. Yeah. You just better pick a side.
So hurry up as well. And by the way, imagine they had like a pass where you have to pick a side and then now you got a pass for that.
Yeah.
Here's my side pass. Well, I'm with Russia. Nah, you can't go shopping.
Yeah.
You will not be allowed to.
You like Ukraine? You support Ukraine, yeah? Yeah. You get a jab for Ukraine.
You can travel.
Okay. Don't see how it's going to help. It will help. Believe me.
Flipping it on
everyone, every AstraZeneca you get, we give them $5.
Sainsbury's you get a free shopping bag if you.
You got to pay 50p for your shopping bags in Sainsbury's, but it goes to Ukraine.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, that's cool. Wow. Yeah, man. That seems to be where we're at. Well, who knows, though? We'll find out where we're going to be at soon, innit, brother lovers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless up, man. Shout out to all the people locked in. Is there anything else we got to cover? I think that's it, innit?
Yeah, I think we're just going to play out with another new... You've been busy.
Yeah, gotta be, man.
Yeah.
Gotta be, you know what I mean? This whole lockdown shit, what else can you be? You know what I mean? Gotta be busy with something. Shout out to DJ Lock, Yamore, Lawrence Limburger, Regantology. Shout to Gleam, Ken F, Teddy T, Weird Tone. Yamore, I shout out Yamore, innit? Shout to Kenny Rebel. Shout yeah, that's hilarious, man. Shout outs to all the crew locked in. Bruce Rillis, shout to Blue Fliggy. Yeah, we got to catch up soon. Weird Tone. Nah, we appreciate everyone who locks in, man. Each and every week we try and do this for you. We're going to be back next week with a guest, hopefully. You know what I mean? That should be quite interesting for people. Should I let the cat out of the bag? I don't know whether I should let the cat out of the bag. Shout out to DJ Lock. Yo, Raps and Bad Bones might be up next week, man. You know what I mean? So tell you people them. He doesn't do these sort of things that often, but He said, bruv, it's you, man. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah, I appreciate that. So yeah, we're going to have a chit chat with him, catch up, talk about the music, man. His fucking insane career, man. The amount of material he just flings out there and creativity, you know what I mean? Take it back.
Yeah.
Shout to Irish. Yeah, man. And, you know, so yeah, we'll chop it up with Ramps and Bad Bones. Exclusive. Not many people get to hear this guy chat, man, but I'm telling you, he's a joker, man. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Follow us on the Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on Twitter. We need Twitter, people.
Yeah. Follow on Twitter. It's
if you're on Twitter, just come on there and just go to synonym.
Yeah, the acronym. We might as well just call it the acronym. Go to the acronym on Twitter, and the acronym is obviously something you might never know nothing about.
Then the podcast you can get on Spotify, on iTunes. You can go and listen back to all of the old episodes as well. So it's good. I've been putting them on. I put them on my podcast thing on my, my MP3 player or whatever, and then just put them on at work sometimes. Just listen through. Yeah. There's some funny stuff in there. The old ones. The old ones more like tonight. Is it like it's not really any topic as such.
Yeah. We're just going in.
Yeah, just good fun.
Catching up. Shout out to Regantology. Yeah, man. That was a good one, man. But yeah, man, catch us next week. We'll be here for you bitches and bitchettes. You know what I mean? Something you might not never know nothing about. We're going to go out with this one. Track that's out right about now. It came out on Friday, I believe. DJ Shorty Blitz. I feel honored, bruv, to be on his first official release as DJ Shorty Blitz. He's done some production before. Don't let him, you know what I mean? He, for some reason he wanted to do it under a different name and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just glad that, you know what I mean, he hit me up because, I got this track. I want to get you. Do you know Suspect? I was like, yeah, I know Suspect, man. I know Suspect from way back, from back in the day when he used to link with, he's Dukas now, but oh man, I've forgotten what his name was before that, man. But Duke, anyway, we called him Duke. And he used to rap with Messiah. Back then, there was an event with the Outsiders. That was it. And we were in Subterranea. That's it. And I was with Jargon and we was watching, and then they come on and they must have rapped sort of towards the end, and then a guy came out and gave them, like a card and whatnot, and then they ended up like they went out there and they were working with the Outsiders and whatnot, and so that it was crazy because that's obviously the link with Eminem as well. The Outsiders were with them, and so there was always like this thing of right, them not doing things as well, right. And then years later, so it's crazy. I'm sure it was like it's Suspect. Like, bruv, that's mad, because I was already thinking like, me and him have got to do a tune at some point because he's sick, man. And Shorty came with that, hit me with the beat, and I was like, bruv, it's one of them beats where as soon as you get a chance to start writing straight away. And so honored to get on this, man. Still Sharp and Still, the track's called, produced by Shorty Blitz and out right now on a low-key Source. Yeah. So we're going to go out with this one, mother lovers. This is some shit you might never know nothing about. My name is MysDiggi. That's DanDNA. We love all you bitches and bitchettes. But we're out. Mother lovers.
Still sharp and still.
Yes, I am. There's only one, and that's me. Searching for truth all the time. It's right there.
Still sharp and still.
Yes, I am. There's only one, and that's me.
They say your opportunity don't knock. You can build a door. I got this shit on lock. For your heart. cold tour, Jar Jar Gabors. You follow fashion, me, I'm in a Sean John Velour. A pair of white sliders and a do-rag to start a war. A fetish for the Filipinas. Wait till you feel the penis. Now I got a chick walking awkward, needing orthopedics. You see a chick's been taken, calling Liam Neeson. Brother, I ain't lying like a preacher deacon who's been thieving, screaming, heaving on a bunch of vegans in a choir meeting. Cheating on his wife with a female, leaving semen on a seam of virgins. Someone said that was the true religion. Tender love and care ain't a motive to a flock of pigeons. Rah, I call this Argendars, jargon creaming on my bars. Me and MysDiggi, that's a bargain, huh? A seminar, spitting llama lava bar, sitting linking arms like a hippie in the Kumbaya.
MysDiggi, still sharp and still. Yes, I am. There's only one, and that's me. Searching for truth, all the time it's right there. MysDiggi, still sharp and still. Yes, I am. There's only one, and that's me. Just spit the ram.
Mysel Tower over the Eiffel Tower, like devoured by darkness, watching rivals cower. With more gifts than a bridal shower. MCs learn with each verse and siphon power like it's Bible hour. But still the dark sky they aren't trying to mention, cause their half-life is threatened by the sharp-minded henchmen. With bars trapped in barbed wire fencing, you face such a bizarre type of ending. Your ass might be trending, bruh. On this title with homicidal intent. Rape the beat, apologize, then sodomize it again.
He's not in his right mind.
He lost it climbing the fence to your house, then kicked you out like you're not in time with the rent. No apologizing. Look, it wasn't like we were friends. Bottom line, wanna try me, you're gonna find it intense. I spit crack, not the type them shotters try to dispense. Now I'm on about the lines you often find in cement, bruh.
That's the beauty of rhyming with incredible MCs. It brings the best out of each other. You better come with your Ginsu knife. You better come with your AK-47. You better come with your nunchucks. You better come with your grenades. You better come with all types of because steel sharpens steel. You feel me?